enseñanzas y predicaciones, el Señor Jesús había dicho: deja que tu sí significa un sí y tu no, un no. In the Sermon on the Mount, the Lord had said that. He said, when you speak, let your yes be a yes and let your no be a no. Que era una manera del Señor de decirnos, pues, no hay que buscar equivocarse uno de palabras o moverse para evitar la verdad. Si es sí, es sí. Si es no, es no. We shouldn't use words to kind of escape saying the simple truth. Let your yes be yes, let your no be no. Es bueno recordar ese dicho del Señor. It's good to remember that particular saying of the Lord in the way the whole Passion according to John begins. They ask him a question. Cuando se acercan a Jesús, Jesús les hace una pregunta. ¿A quién buscan? Who are you looking for? A Jesús el Nazareno. And so Jesus says exactly what you would expect someone who had said that before about your yes and no. What he says: I am. But when he says I am, he is invoking the name of God himself. Yo soy. Which is why in the Gospel of John, when he says that, porque invoca el nombre de Dios mismo, yo soy quien soy. Es el nombre de Dios en el libro de Éxodo. Por eso se cayeron, ¿no? They fell back. Because he spoke the simple truth in just uttering an answer to their question. Buscamos a Jesús, yo soy. Es bueno contrastar esto con la respuesta de San Pedro, ¿no? Que todavía no era San Pedro, nomás era Pedro. When they asked Peter, are you one of his followers? No, lo soy. I am not. No, es la negación completa de lo que había dicho Jesús. Jesús había dicho, yo soy. Pedro dice, no, no lo soy. Jesus says, I am. And we should bow when we hear that word. Simon, when he's asked the question, are you a follower of his? I am not. He denies, es una negación, it's a complete negation of his relation to Jesus. Bueno, era la crisis del momento, no? That's the crisis of the moment. Simon, perhaps, there's no excuse for Simon having denied his relation to the Lord, but it is perhaps a little bit understandable. We cannot be so sure we would have given a different answer, ¿no? No hay excusa por lo que dijo Simón en ese momento, que no lo soy, no tengo relación, no lo conozco. No hay excusa, pero es entendible porque era el momento de crisis. Y no podríamos nosotros decir con tanta confianza que hubiéramos dado otra respuesta. We can't be so sure we would have answered in a different way. Y Simon Peter, who knew the Lord personally and loved him, could not hold firm. What hope would we have had? All of reality hangs between the I am and the I am not. ¿No? La pasión nos muestra las dos alternativas definitivas en la historia del ser humano. Yo soy, la palabra de Jesús, y nuestra respuesta, ¿soy o no soy? Am I with him or am I not? Pues por lo menos sería importante este día reconocer que no tenemos tanta confianza en nuestra propia capacidad. Y cierto, en ese momento en la historia no hubiéramos podido tan claramente decir yo sí soy con él. I am with him. En ese sentido, la pasión del Señor debe de ayudarnos a reconocer la verdad que es nuestra incapacidad de estar tan seguros de nuestra propia verdad. One of the effects of reading the Passion is that we are made a bit more humble in acknowledging the fact that we cannot be so sure that we would be so firm in standing for the truth. That humility is important. No, humility is the forgotten virtue, but it's so important in the life of Jesus. La humildad es una de las virtudes que el mundo no aprecia, no, pero Cristo tan claramente, no, dice la verdad, pero con humildad. Our humility is born of our awareness, most of all, of what we're in danger of not doing. And humility is rooted in being realistic, ¿no? Que nuestra humildad tiene su raíz en reconocer realmente dentro de nosotros mismos de que somos incapaces, of what we are unable to do. And part of that includes, as much as we may condemn others for not standing up for the truth, when push comes to shove, will we? No nos cuesta tanto ser más humildes en este mundo. Because we are accustomed to reading the Passion with sort of a modern, unfortunately, sometimes we read the Passion like we watch a movie, which is not the best way to read the Passion. That is, we kind of figure out who we're rooting for and who we're not. ¿No? Que a veces la tentación moderna es leer la Pasión como que si fuera una película. Pues quiénes son los buenos y quiénes son los malos, y yo estoy con los buenos, ¿no? Yo estoy con los buenos. Like we watch a movie, we kind of decide, well, who's the good guys and who's the bad guys, because I'm with the good guys. Pero ni tan seguro podemos estar sobre eso. We can't be so sure, because it's not a movie. This is lived every day. The Passion of the Christ. And the test is ours. How will we respond? When someone makes fun of us because we happen, maybe on Ash Wednesday we had a little bit of ashes on our head and people made fun of us and maybe we're a little embarrassed and maybe we tried to hide it off. Cosas sencillas como esas, ¿no? Lo de la pasión siempre tiene que ver con ¿estoy con el Cristo o no? And Simon is the sign for us that perhaps we aren't so strong as we think we are. Pero sí es parte de nuestra respuesta a la pasión decir yo quiero estar con Cristo, sí quiero estar con Cristo. Part of our response to the passion is we want to be with Him. We know that we may not be able to if push comes to shove, but we want to, no, queremos estar con Él. Aunque reconocemos en esta realidad que tal vez en este momento no hubiéramos dado otra respuesta que la respuesta de San Pedro, aunque eso es la verdad, eso no quita la verdad que yo quiero estar con Él. I want to be with Him. I don't want Him to be alone when He is judged and condemned and spat upon and stripped of His clothing and humiliated and put thorns on His head and crucified. That at least for the benefit of our situation we would want to be. Y eso también es importante. That's good eso es bueno, no? That's good. At least we know. Humbly, we may not have been, but we do know we want to have been and we want to be now. Porque entre las cosas que Dios nos da como gracia, una de las más importantes es saber qué queremos. Of all the graces that God gives us, the most important one, perhaps, is what do you want? What do we want? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Es que el mundo cambia su idea cada 3 horas, no? Every 3 hours, the reporting cycle in the news and the world changes its mind. Where do you stand, O people of God? ¿Dónde están parados? No, sí, ahorita y luego en 3 horas, no. Y el deseo, no, el querer, the desire, the wanting is important because that we need to identify it and let it be what guides us. No, esto nos debe de guiar. Humildemente, reconociendo nuestras incapacidades, humbly, aware of our own inabilities. Not so much what we think we can do, but what we're pretty sure we can't do. From that posture, ¿no? Que es la realidad. Poder decirle al Cristo, Señor, a lo mejor no puedo en un momento de crisis, pero sí quiero estar contigo. To be able to say honestly to the Lord Jesus as he goes to his cross, and even as he's on the cross, Lord, I may not be able to go all the way with you. That's just honest. But I want to. So help me. La gracia de poder decirle, Señor, honestamente, a lo mejor no puedo seguirte hasta el fin, pero si quiero seguirte, ayúdame. Ayúdame. Help me. Esta es la postura del Viernes Santo. That is the posture of a Catholic on Good Friday. Lord, it's just being honest with you, no? Maybe I can't go all the way. Maybe I'm not a little better than Simon Peter. But I want to. And because I want to, I can ask you to help me. Podríamos decir que esa petición, Señor, ayúdame, es la petición que el Señor Jesús más quiere oír hoy. That's the petition the Lord Jesus most wants to hear from us today. Ya con las muchas palabras, sino que, Señor, me conozco, ayúdame. Lord, I think I know myself well enough. Help me. That's the petition the Lord most wants to hear from us today. Because it means a certain light of grace has come to us, una luz de la gracia. Mi realidad, que tan frecuentemente es espejo de la realidad de San Pedro, no lo soy. Enfrente de la realidad de Dios en Jesús, el que yo soy, y poner mi necesidad, mi crueldad, mi pecado, mi falta delante de Él. Y Él responde, and He responds. To put our need, our capacity to crucify, our capacity to crucify another. Porque tampoco debemos pedir que no somos capaces de crucificar a otro. Let's be real. We do it every day. Es que lo hacemos todos los días. Sino con clavos y con madera, con palabras. We may not crucify people with wooden nails, but we do it with words. Este es el día del gran realismo del ser humano. This is the day of the great realism of what it is to be a human being in a broken world. That's why when we began today, ustedes se hincaron y los padres se postraron. You knelt and the priests were prostrate in front of the altar, porque delante de Él todos necesitamos In front of him, we all are in need of his mercy. Por eso es un día también de silencio, hoy y mañana. That is why today and tomorrow is a day of silence inside, no? To be real with God. To be real with God and not to be constantly saying the problem is that guy over there, no? Ser real con Dios no es decir el problema es aquel que está parado allá. Ser real con Dios, el problema lo tengo yo. Ayúdame, Señor. The problem, so Lord, starts with me. Help me. En eso estamos. Y el Señor nos levanta. He will. He knows us. And He loves us so much. Tanto que nos ha amado. Él sí responde a la petición si viene de corazón. Él desea extender la mano, desde la cruz extender la mano. From the cross He would extend His hand to us. I will lift you up. You can be with me. For this reason I die, and for this reason I rise, that you may be with me. Ayúdanos, Señor, a ser realistas y llenos de esperanza en tu poder para sanar las heridas más fuertes en nuestras propias vidas. Porque a esto vino el Señor. Y esto es lo que nos quiere dar. Por eso muere. Y por eso resucita al tercer día.